Solana, I think, is going to be the big story of this cycle of the main chains because they're launching Fire Dancer or Jump which is a different validator, which actually, I mean, believe it or not, is going to run at 600,000 to 1.2 million TPS. So this is the fastest thing by a long way. This is just a different order of magnitude. This is 10x the fastest ever thing we've ever seen. And it's not a layer two, it's just Solana. So this is a game changer. It means the whole finance system can be built on it. It was designed by Jump Trading, who are high frequency traders who understand the latency and sheer capacity requirements for things like exchanges to run.
Real Vision founder and chief executive officer Raoul has given his updated predictions and outlook for the cryptocurrency market, especially as we transition from what Raoul describes as crypto spring to crypto summer. According to the former Goldman Sachs executive, the United States economy is beginning to slow down and will remain relatively slow through this quarter and the next, but that won't necessarily mean asset prices will drop further. Raoul believes the markets priced in the slowdown last year. As a result, he is not expecting further significant declines in crypto asset prices for the rest of the year. Raoul is also very optimistic that the transition from crypto spring to crypto summer has started, and by Q1 or Q2 2024, we will be in a full-blown crypto and tech bull market. As for current price movements, Raoul says they are only emblematic of every crypto spring. Like a normal spring, it rains today, snows tomorrow, and it's considerably warm the following day. So when Bitcoin soars to $28,000 and then almost immediately drops a few $100s, it does not mean crypto is dead or it will somehow remain stuck in current price levels. Raoul says the best thing to do in such moments is to zoom out so you can see the big picture. According to Raoul, the big picture is how much headways the cryptocurrency industry and overall digital asset industry has had this year despite the bear market. At its current price of $27,607, Bitcoin has gained over 66% this year. Ether is up 37.10% year to date, and Solana, which Raoul predicts will be the big story of the next bull market, is up by over 15% in the past week and 133.66% year to date. During a recent discussion with Coin Bureau's Jessica Walker, Raoul gives his opinions on the current state of the cryptocurrency markets and what to expect in the coming months. According to the Real Vision chief executive, Bitcoin spot exchange-traded funds and Ether futures exchange-traded funds could be some of the biggest catalysts that will usher in the next big bull run. He gives the example of institutional financial firm VanEck, which is set to launch the VanEck Ether Strategy ETF, an exchange-traded fund that invests in Ether futures contracts. The firm, which manages over $77 billion in assets, will also be donating 10% of all profits from the venture to Ether core developers for 10 years. We will now bring you clips from the discussion as Raoul reacts to the VanEck news, the increasing involvement of institutions in cryptocurrencies and other digital assets, and how crypto gets to 1 billion users in the coming cycle. Please ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Also, ensure you drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Thanks and enjoy the video.
Okay, I like the team at VanEck. I know them really well. Jan VanEck is a friend of mine. Their heart is in the right place. They understand what this whole system is about. And really what they're saying is we understand that a futures ETF has less impact on the ecosystem than actual spot Ethereum ETF. So therefore, we just want to give something back to the spot market, because don't forget, if people are actually buying Ethereum and they were staking it and doing all of this stuff in spot, you've got a much more impact in the space. Because futures, yes, the arbitrageurs will try and keep the price in line. So it does create demand for actual Ethereum, but not necessarily as much demand because people can just trade the futures themselves. So I think the VanEck team are really trying to do the right thing. And listen, it's bigger than all of us. And we need to allow others to participate and help shape it. If people want their bags to go up, well, they want the institutions to build in this space too. You know, if you want Ethereum to be worth $5 trillion, well, then you're going to need the finance system to use Ethereum for settlements and smart contracts and everything else to get there. So, yeah, it's a good thing. The other thing about VanEck is they even have a hedge fund that just solely invests in crypto assets.
Okay.
So they're really in this space. I mean, they're properly in this space. They've got NFTs, they do everything. So they're really trying to put their best foot forward in the space and be good stewards of the spaces.
Is that going to be one of these catalysts that move us over from spring into summer?
It depends what price is doing, because had we launched a spot ETF in November last year, nobody would have bought it because the market was going down or it was feeling terrible. But as the market is recovering and we're in spring, and normally the Q4 is a strong quarter, if you introduce spot Bitcoin and spot ETH ETFs into a rising market, you will start to suck in the investment advisors, the individuals who found it too complicated to hold their own wallets and do all of that kind of stuff. So it really depends what the market is doing. But I think on balance, it's positive. But really, it'll show up in 2024, 2025 when the cycle's fully underway. It just makes an easy way for people who are not used to the digital side of things to just use equities and get their exposure. So yeah, look, overall, longer term, it's very positive. It's just yet another on-ramp. Short term, depends what the price is doing. Price is strong, we'll get a bit of a panic in from the investment advisors and stuff like that. From the work that I've done, if I look at the rate of change of the adoption, the active addresses, it should hit 1 billion this cycle. So what is that? How do we get there? I don't know. But there's a lot of things that people don't even know about, like Ticketmaster has issued 30 million NFTs. People don't realize that. So that was 30 million people who weren't crypto people, but because their Ticketmaster wallet, where they get their tickets for games and shows, they just drop NFTs into them. So, I don't know how we're going to onboard the billion, but it feels like it's coming. It could even be, dare I say it, CBDCs. If somebody launches one, it could be from India, where they're working on their CBDC. So there's a lot of different avenues that will create the billion people.
During his conversation with Jessica, Raoul talks about the importance of all the institutional interests we are getting at the moment. He explains that the cryptocurrency economy already has the groundbreaking technology but needs money, the kind of money that cannot be gotten from retail investors, most of whom already have all their money in the crypto space. What the space needs, according to Raoul, is new money from big money institutions and their wealthy clients. This is exactly what Raoul thinks we'll be getting from all the big money institutions that are now showing adequate interest in the space. In addition, institutions will also encourage a lot of crypto VC investments, which will fund the new wave of projects the industry needs to grow further. Powell is also predicting that as the economy gets slower, the Fed will be forced to cut rates, which will cause a general asset price explosion, starting with the stock market. As the stock market starts getting closer to all-time highs, Raoul figures more investors, institutional and retail, will be motivated to invest in more riskier assets like cryptocurrencies and other digital assets. As a result, Raoul is predicting a lot more participation from institutions in this cycle compared to the previous one. When all of this money gets pumped into the crypto market, here are the cryptocurrencies Raoul predicts will rise exponentially.
Layer 2s are cheaper, faster. So that works. So Polygon, Arbitrum, all of that stuff, that probably works very well. And so I think we will see ongoing adoption of those. Only some of the value accrues to ETH because they batch transactions. So they take a whole bunch and then it goes onto the ETH chain. So you're using kind of one ETH slot for a lot of other slots. So it has an impact on ETH. It's good. More people are building on ETH. So that's great. I think that continues. Solana, I think, is going to be the big story of this cycle of the main chains because they're launching Fire Dancer or Jumpies, which is a different validator, which actually, I mean, believe it or not, is going to run at 600,000 to 1.2 million TPS. So this is the fastest thing by a long way, considering Solana and Polygon are the two fastest chains at 65,000 TPS, and Sui should be about 120,000, but yet to get there. This is just a different order of magnitude. This is 10x the fastest ever thing we've ever seen. And it's not a layer 2, it's just Solana. So this is a game changer. It means the whole finance system can be built on it. It was designed by Jump Trading, who are high frequency traders who understand the latency and sheer capacity requirements for things like exchanges to run. So I think Solana is a very big story. We're seeing a lot of activity there. Then I don't know what the new Solana will be, but we're seeing a lot of interest both in gaming and also in zero knowledge stuff. And there's also DeFi. So I don't know. It becomes really hard to know which is the big area. But those are the three I hear a lot. But I tend not to go that far out the risk curve just because it's difficult to choose the right thing, But, you figure that if the space is going up, then Bitcoin and ETH will do well and Solana will do well. Solana's got this extra kicker, which is, I think, potentially a game changer. So I think that's probably the layer one that does the big layer one that does the best in the cycle. Then we've got the kind of Aptos and Suis and those kind of things. Let's see how they do, what traction they get. The layer twos will be interesting, and then these other kind of applications, as I said. I think we've all learned not to give price expectations anymore because just because people trying to take them as gospel and as opposed to, hey, this is my best guess knowing what I know today. But generally speaking, if ETH does what Bitcoin did last cycle, then it's 3 to 4 times the high of the previous cycle. So therefore, that kind of yardstick gives us 15,000 plus. That doesn't sound unreasonable. That's a 10x from here. That's possible. That would be within the realms of normality. And then something like Bitcoin, maybe it does slightly less because it's a more mature ecosystem, and something like Solana would do significantly more. So that's how I think about it. I think the overall space can go from $1 trillion today to maybe 10 trillion at the peak of the next cycle. So that's a 10x for the whole space, possibly. Could be a 5x, but it's something of that magnitude. If we're right in a hypothesis that more and more people will use blockchain technology for underlying use cases. If that's the case, yeah.
While discussing spot Bitcoin ETF, Raoul mentions that he still strongly believes that at least one of the applications before the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission will be approved this year, possibly even in November. According to the renowned macro expert, the financial regulator is undoubtedly ready to approve one and will do so as soon as it gets all official processes out of the way. Do you agree that we could get a spot Bitcoin ETF approval this year? How do you think such news will impact crypto asset prices and general sentiments about the industry? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.